Hello everyone, my name is Shay Omotoday. This is day 20 of 365 days video challenge, and in the next 3 days we're going to be talking about types of audience using Facebook, talking about core audience, custom audience, and lookalike audience. For tonight, we're going to get started with targeting core audience. Facebook advertising offers tools to reach broad and extremely specific audience across Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or through mobile app with ads networks. Core audience are targets ad using Facebook data. Now let's talk about element of core audience. The default Facebook ad target option is core audience. Targeting happens at the ad set level, and audience can be broken into separate assets when you bid differently to reach each audience. Building a core audience of Facebook lets marketers calibrate ad delivery around demographic, location, interest, behavior, and connection. When building core audience, you can opt to include or exclude people from your target audience based on demographic, location, interest, and connection. Let's talk about demographics. Demographic targeting draws from information that people share publicly on Facebook about their education, political views, families and relation status, life events, career, and more. Location target audience allows marketers to target ads by postal code, cities, region, country, or worldwide, and deliver ads based on where people are, whether they live in a location or near arrival or just visiting. Interest targeting focus on consumer and lifestyle categories such as fitness, fashion, and hobbies. Connection target is based on audience engagement with Facebook page, Facebook events, or apps. Location-based audience. There are four different ways to define your audience based on location. You can request that your ad be delivered to everyone on a location. Locals, these are only people who identify that location as their home. New resident, only people who recently update their location. Visitors, people who have checked in or tagged in a place that isn't their primary location. Geographical audience. You can use the browse feature to target your ad worldwide by geographical area, country, city, or postal code. Regional audience. This includes free trade area, app store region, emerging markets, and Euro area. Demographics audience. Targeting ad delivery by demographic traits such as age and gender is a time-honored marketing strategy. Interest and behavior. Facebook can provide ad delivery around people's interests and behaviors. Audience size. Let's talk about audience size right now. Your audience selection only needs to meet one targeting criteria, not all, when adding multiple targeting character. Let's see how core audience works. So I will need to switch my screen and log into Facebook Ads Manager to see how it works. So I'm trying to navigate my screen right now. All right. Okay, so this is Facebook Ads Manager. We should all know how to work with Facebook Ads Manager by now. So what you just need to do on the Facebook search, types Ads Manager, click the Ads Manager, then you find yourself on Ad Manager. You can create ad. So I will do as if I want to create a new ad right now. These are some existing ad campaign that I just completed not too long, but I just wanted to see how different core audience works. So let me do as if I want to create a new ad. Let's say brand awareness, for example. So I can just call this brand or call this image brand, right? So we're not running any text or speech for now. So I'll say content. The basic thing I want to explain is how the core audience work. And remember, core audience is the Facebook default data, right? So this is audience size that I talked about not too long. So this is core audience. So when you come to this place now, and remember I talk about you can exclude and also include. So to that we talk about location, we talk about the detail marketing, which is involve detail targeting, which is demographics, interest, and behavior, right? So you can choose the language and also the connection. So this is area that we just talk about today, and tomorrow I'll be talking about custom audience. Then next tomorrow we'll talk about lookalike. So how do you create core audience? So for you to create core audience, so you can see custom audience here, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Lookalike next tomorrow. So create a core audience. You have this. So for example, I'm in Nigeria now, so I'll click this. So you can see I talk about different location, and I told you that you have people who live in a location, people who recently visit, and people who travel, that is visit. Then I also talk about demographic, like by age, gender, and the interest of the people. So for this, I can decide to say, okay, from the map, everyone in this location, right? So I need to specify the location. Let's say Lagos City, Nigeria. So um, Lagos City, Nigeria is giving us about 6.5 million. Yeah, 6.5 million total to reach on Facebook. But this is too broad, especially if you have a very low target. Then when you are working on the audience, it's very important for you to also make sure that your audience is defined like this. So we can try to do some things by reducing this. So either by the cities. Okay, these are things I talked about, like reducing the meters. So you can see it has reduced to 6.1. Not only that, we can also go ahead by checking the audience by saying, okay, let's say we want to target an audience between 35 to 35. There's one tip right now. If you actually want to target audience, don't just take a very long distant audience. So let it be a distance between 10 years. So now we have 35 to 45 audience. So with this now, we still have a very defined audience. Just make sure that your audience is being defined. But if you have a low budget, 1.1 million is a very large number. Yeah. So you might not be able to, especially for small businesses. So we can also go to gender here. So if the business is only for men or women, I can sell women now. So by clicking women now, if you can see the size has reduced to 440. So even if your budget is just 20,000 naira, so this is a very good audience. As you can see, it's defined audience. So this is if your audience is not defined, I won't advise you to go ahead and use that audience. So that will greatly affect your ad. You can also uh, change the language. The default language is English, and connection too. So you might not need to do this as Nigeria. So if I want to connect to only people that like your page, friend of people that like your page, you can exclude. You can also work with app events. These are the things that I've explained earlier. So if you don't want to use anything about connection, you can leave it. So this is called define audience. So for example, now if I should delete this, let's say I'm in first app now, and I click and I type something like first app. This will just show me maybe this will show me just like a neighborhood, right? Which is very small. There's also first app in. So look at this now. So can you see? So this is fairly audience. So I won't advise you and never advise you to go with an audience that is fairly or too specific. Yeah, if your audience is too specific or fairly, don't go. Make sure that your audience is perfectly defined. So if I reduce this now, let's see what will happen. So it's still fairly. So now if I do, I just want you to see different things that you should not take. So if I should reduce this 35 to So 5 years. See what will happen? Can you see? Your audience is too specific. So if your audience is too specific, don't bother to go ahead and run an ad. So you have seen what it is for an audience to be specific, an audience to be fairly, and an audience to be defined. So what you actually need is make sure that your audience is defined, right? So if I should increase this now to, let's say this, let me go back and say like 45 boats. So you can still see 13. Why is it 13? Because this audience is not actually much. So so it's very small. So I can add other places. So if I want to add environment that's close to this, maybe you want to think about proximity too. Okay, so like says really Lagos is also very close. We add this. So if your data, this is 1 million, so this is not good too. So I can actually close this and make sure that my audience uh, is defined. So basically the point is, if your audience is not defined like this, don't bother. So if you are thinking of, oh, this number is too much, you can create different audience, female separately, I mean women separately. So this is good, reduced, and male separately. Can you see? This is also good. So don't ever try to run ads where your audience is not defined. That's my advice to you. So, gentlemen, this is how far we go about targeting core audience using Facebook default data. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about custom audience, and you get to know what custom audience is. And the next 3 days, you will have known major difference between core audience, custom audience, and lookalike audience. Bye for now.